again, and welcome to another episode of the Welcome Home podcast. I'm joined today. This is a special episode because I am joined today by my business partner, my friend, my boy. There's a whole line of, my brother, Eric Mieles, my son, Alex Vasquez, as always. And we are here today just to chop it up and, backed by popular demand, man. Eric Mieles.
Well,
How are you, man?
I'm really good. This is a special time, a special moment because it brings back a lot of memories for a lot of the work that we did for many, many years.
Yep.
And I'm very appreciative to be on the show. Thank you for bringing me on, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I've been specifically looking forward to this episode for a really long time. So
Well, there's a lot of pressure. I hope
No,
I
no.
hope I don't disappoint.
No
You know what I mean?
pressure.
All
Sure.
right.
Our
Never
ratings are
any-
just gonna-
Oh man, it'll be terrible. It'll
no
be terrible.
pressure.
For those of you watching that have been following us for a long time and asking, hey, where's Eric? How's Eric been? Well, he's back. We're going to talk today. For those of you that have just recently tuned into our show, Eric and I have been working together for,
15 years?
15 years. We started H6 Homes together. We built a great business together. And then we also did some investing and went a little left, right? And we followed our dreams for a little while. And we opened up a business in Costa Rica, right?
That's right. That's right.
We actually bought a mom and pop business, the three of us,
Yep.
after a trip to Costa Rica. And we built it up. And Eric stayed there for a little while handling business. And so, man, tell us about that adventure for you. I mean, we've talked about it, and I know you were there for a while, and now you're back. So what's up, man?
Well, everything's great. And why don't I just give the audience a little synopsis, a little bit more context, especially for our audience that may be realtors or obviously have an interest in real estate. Performing the business and being in the business so long, I had reached a point of, I would say, burnout.
Mm-hmm.
I would say burnout. I would say that the same ambition that drove me to be successful in the industry with what we did
Mm-hmm.
is technically the same ambition that actually burned me out and drove me out of the industry.
Okay.
And so when that time came for us to make an investment in another country and open up a business, it seemed like the right time in my life to reevaluate some things, take a step back, and put my focus and energy into something else, just to spark what I love to be driven by, which is passion, which is connection to the work.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what happened at that time. It was after COVID. The market was changing. Personally speaking, as someone on the team and in our partnership that handled the buy sides of the transaction, I really took no joy in meeting with a buyer, telling them if you like this house, offer $30,000 over list, waive your contingencies, and you'll maybe get it. I just was so disconnected from that work that I needed to do something else. And so that's when the time came for us to make a decision, and I decided to stay in Costa Rica and, operate the business that we all owned and had purchased.
You know what's crazy is, and I bring this up a couple of times, but for you guys who have been in it for such a long time, I just think it's crazy. When I started, that was normal. So like in my head, even right now, that was normal real estate. So I feel like in today's age, like I'm having to relearn things and relearn how like a normal market works. Sure. So I just think it's interesting, and I'm seeing the effects of that.
Sure.
But again, it's just like relearning. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, real estate's cyclical, right? I mean, it goes up, goes down. Same markets will come back in a couple of years, and that's how it is. But I totally understand what you were saying, Eric, because I've been doing this a long time, many years, and I've reached those points as well. And I think that what we did in Costa Rica, even for Alex, just getting into the business, I think it was something that we needed to do at the time. It gave us a different direction. We had fun doing it.
Sure.
And as true business people, we took a mom and pop little tour business with 8 ATVs and built that up, right? A year.
A non-operational business.
Yeah, exactly. It was out of somebody's backyard.
Sure.
Right? Out of this guy's backyard.
Yeah, and listen, We're amongst friends here.
Let's do it, man.
We say we bought a business because it feels good to say that. I know you guys disagree. We bought a website with leads and turned it into a business.
That's true.
We had the ATVs; they were not being used, and I say that because I think it gives a little more, even more credit to what we did, what we
Yeah.
overcame.
Yeah.
Because it was not an operational business. We banded together, saw the opportunity. You particularly. We followed and then did it.
Yeah, we had fun though.
Yeah.
We had fun.
Yeah.
It was a blast. I think we held on to it for what, 2.5 years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
Roughly.
And so, again, being business people,
Sure.
we did a seller finance deal,
Sure.
right? That we're still benefiting from.
Absolutely.
And so, we talk about investing all the time. Alex and I talk about it. We talked about it on the podcast. If you go back knowing what we know now, right, and looking back, we had no intention of doing any seller finance deal. We had an intention of building this business, seeing what it can develop into, having some fun, which we did.
Sure.
But then at the end, we turned it into, and you saw the vision with Hainer, and we did a seller finance deal, and we're still benefiting from that. So
We get cash flow.
Yep.
It's in our portfolio as an asset.
Yep.
So, like you said, we still benefit from it.
love it, man. And this is what we talk about with other investors too, So there's so many different ways to earn money, build wealth, and so that's just one of them. And so happy to have done that with you, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so tell us, man, so you're back now, right? What have you been up to? Where are you? What are your plans for the next upcoming season, I guess we should call it?
Yeah, so Costa Rica was supposed to be the sabbatical that I needed from the industry.
Now you need another one from the
Well, Costa Rica turned into building the business, which was everything but a sabbatical,
Right.
because it came with its own challenges, ups and downs of building a business and being an entrepreneur, especially in another country, especially not talking Spanish.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
As the only one in the group that does it,
Right.
So
you did learn. I remember on one of our episodes you did learn gancho.
gancho, hangers, right?
Hangers. Yeah, there
I
you
do.
go,
Yeah,
bro.
That's right. At least I knew one thing.
Pedro.
Which served me, Pedro, all the little dogs in there. A couple of bad words, but other than that, so that's what Costa Rica was supposed to be. Everything that happened that we just talked about. And then after Costa Rica, I did get a chance to get some rest, recharge my mind, put together some time to focus on what I wanted my future to be. I spent some time in the Pacific Northwest, 3 months over there, 3 months in New York. And so I took about 6 months before I came back to Florida. And when I came back to Florida, I put my focus into renovating one of our small multifamilies,
Nice.
which turned into housing for me and my wife, which is fantastic. And another thing that I'd love to elaborate with others on, the benefits of buy and hold real estate, always having a roof to go to over your head.
Yep.
The benefits of that, not as well as all the other things that rental has brought to us. And then now I got back in the industry. I'm managing a couple of properties, and we've been having some discussions, and I'm just looking at the market, and I feel this resurgence of good energy,
Yep.
good thoughts, good ambition. And now I get to apply all the things that I learned from my journey before and take the goods and the bits and pieces that I want my journey to now be in the future. And that's kind of where I'm at now.
Nice. And I know we've talked about this, and you're aware of it, but the business that you're considering, kind of dabbling and getting back into again, in a niche, a different niche, which I'm sure you'll bring up in a sec, but it's a different business than you left,
Sure.
2-3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Lots have changed, new laws, there's new ways, obviously, that we get paid.
Sure.
And so I know, man, you're a smart guy, so you'll work your way around it, and you're going to, you'll do great if you do decide to do that. But we talked, and let's let the audience know, you want to focus on a specific niche that you're passionate about, which you just touched on, which is multifamily, right?
Sure.
Small multifamily,
Sure.
helping others, which Alex has learned from you as well, and learned from me because we've done it together.
Sure.
Talk about it. Yeah, what's your plan?
So this time around, again, just to provide some context, it's a little different for me. it's one of the things I was thinking about in thinking about our conversation for today and any value that I can add to the audience. When I mentioned the ambition that drove me to succeed in residential real estate sales with us all these years, uh, the term that comes to mind is the allure of more. And I remember that ambition of always each year wanting to best the next, start out, 20 something transactions, 40 something, 70 something, 100
Remember
and
those
something,
conversations.
and just keep going and going. And all of that is fantastic. However, here's what happens, in my opinion. As a realtor and a real estate professional, as we sell more, we make more. And as we make more, we have a tendency to grow our life and our lifestyle. So as our lifestyle grows, we now need to feed the machine. And oftentimes, I really believe, as I look back, it separates you a little bit more from the work because you have to do a lot more. The energy reserves require a lot more to meet your baseline if you've built up a life, right? Based on the new amount that you're making from when you started. And if you get frustrated, burnt out, a little tired of what you're doing, you now are stuck between a rock and a hard place of the real decisions you should make. Stick to doing what you're doing, even though you're not deriving pure joy from the work, right? Or essentially just, back out and figure out how to do something else. I share that with you because this time around, I've set the life up where focusing on a new niche, although it may take a little while to build, I really can apply myself to just serving a really small audience, doing a few transactions if I deem that's right for me, and still being okay, right? Because my overarching goal is freedom, to be able to do what I want when I want. And so applying and getting back in the industry, focusing on a new niche, the reason why I want to do that is because I no longer need to sell 50, 60, 70 homes to make X amount of money to feed whatever desires I personally have in life. I used to believe, coming up, contentment was weakness. I now believe there's an element of contentment that equates to an element of freedom, in my elder years. So I share that with you because that's kind of the focus going forward. That's kind of what I want to build around myself and just derive real joy from serving a small amount of people in a small amount of niche and just take all the benefits that gives me and then do what I want when I want.
And what is that niche you're trying
Small
to
multifamily.
small, so duplex to
Triplex for small multifamily. I say that and why I derive joy from it because it's brought freedom for me and my family. Through the years of being a realtor, you guys know I was very positive and straightforward in investing a lot of what I made. Through the years, buying a couple duplexes, a fourplex, has allowed cash flow to come in to enable a sense of freedom. And I want to share that with others. And I also want to impact sellers who have that asset class that might not know how to maximize it or the things they can do with it. So, I live that niche, and I'd like to now explore it as sort of my craft as I enter the industry.
Nice. Cool.
That was kind of deep and like
Sorry.
no
Oh, it's
like
good, man.
in a good way because I was just gonna say like I felt like that kind of hit for me because I feel like in a transitional phase right now where I want to scale but I also want to like make what I'm doing like my own.
Sure.
So I can definitely hear what you're saying and I'm just glad that you said that.
Yeah, thank you. I want to add, it's interesting. I was sharing this with my daughter. The market rewards scale, right? We look at big box retailers. We look, the volume. And when I say the market rewards it, because of branding, because of marketing, because of the element of constant noise and messaging, they leave impressions on us as consumers. But at the same time, the market really hates scale and capitalism in such a grand size. There's the craftsman, the artist who can make one thing at a time, and it's so unique, and there's effort and detail into it. But the allure of more right? Sometimes drives that artist who was successful one by one, but then needs more to get more, to grow more, and the allure of scaling more kind of takes over, which if you follow that path, the craftsman slowly becomes further away from the craft that initially got them to what leads to their success. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
It makes a lot of sense. And a lot of times too, while you're scaling and doing that, you're acquiring more and more debt, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's putting you further and further away from this freedom.
Sure.
And so that's something that I'm leaning into now. And we're exploring the Puerto Rico market because there's a lot of opportunity there. But I'm very careful now because I don't want to continue to take on debt because of that. Because I'm at a point where I want to start also feeling that freedom.
Sure.
And you sent me a podcast this morning, and one of the things that stuck out to me in the podcast was cash is king and debt is dumb. And it's working on me, because my thing is, I'm gonna make moves, build wealth, but I'm going to start eliminating that debt and just living off of that income, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about freedom, feeling happy with what you're doing, and you don't have to be massive to do that.
Absolutely.
Nelson said that too.
Yeah.
Nelson.
Well, Nelson, yeah. So one of my mentors, Nelson's a good friend of mine. He's family, right? Shout out to Nelson Gutierrez and PR. He told me that a couple months ago. He said the secret is have no debt.
Sure.
Pay down your debt. Once you have no debt, then buy something.
Yep.
Pay it down, then buy something else, and
Understood.
that way everything that you earn from those assets is income. It's real, true income.
Sure.
So cool, man. That's what I'm doing, and I'm glad to see that you're getting back in the game. And I think that niche actually fits you.
Thank you.
I've learned so much from you on that end, and I'm grateful for that too. And I know Alex has as well. Alex, as you know, right? He got his own place. He subdivided it, and
Yeah, kind of mimicking the model.
Sure.
Right now, it's tough a little bit for the multifamily just because numbers and prices. But
Absolutely.
I mimicked the model, made 2 spaces, and I'm actually identifying a couple tenants that I could potentially rent again. I had a little episode with a
I heard.
prior tenant.
it's part of it, though, right?
Absolutely, it is.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Not shout out to her. Like, no, thank you.
Exactly.
But yeah, just mimicking the model, and it's working.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fantastic. There's a lot of value in multifamily, small multifamily. I know the numbers aren't years ago what we used to see, but I still believe it serves value in the marketplace from a multi-generational housing standpoint to a subsidized living standpoint where, if not all your costs are covered, a big chunk of it from the next door or the other units are. So there's still a lot of value to that asset class that I see.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And listen, guys, I mean, it doesn't have to be Orlando, right?
Correct, absolutely
It
not.
can be markets that the numbers do work.
Absolutely.
Hence the reason why I'm exploring Puerto Rico so much, because the numbers there still work, because you can acquire the asset. It may be in a deteriorated condition, but that's the value add, right?
Absolutely, that's a value add.
Buy it low, add the value, hold it or sell it high. And so that's what we do.
Sure.
So anyone out there that wants to learn more about that specific topic, I mean, just reach out to us. We can help you. We can help you get there. So man, what's besides work? We talked work. Like personally, man, what do you do? I know you still fighting. You still
slamming
training
people.
Yeah, I'm doing judo. Judo has been an incredible journey. I think it's 10 years now.
Wow.
I started under my sensei here in Orlando as a white belt. I walked in with gym shorts and a shirt. I did one tumble. I started sweating, and he said, "This guy will never come back." And it's a life lesson. Let me share, because I knew. Whereas I saw other people attach themselves to the rank that they would receive. Oh, I need to get to the next belt. I need to get to the next belt. I said to myself, I don't care really about the rank I achieve. I just know if I keep coming back, no matter how bad I feel, how tough it may be, eventually through the journey, I'm going to have to look back and have achieved something. And 10 years later, being a black belt in that art, in that discipline, it's been an incredible life addition that I've really enjoyed. Not to mention having a mentor, which you shared, Nelson, and having mentors in your life, there's an accountability standpoint. So the days that I didn't want to go, I felt like I'd be letting down my mentor, who's my sensei.
Right.
And so that would drive me, busy days, tired, now I'm in my 40s. Who wants to be slammed by 18-year-olds trying to get to the Olympics? You know, I can be home, watching some crap on TV, eating pizza, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, but the having that in your mind, or there's something bigger driving you to go. And then when you leave, you feel like you really accomplish something for the day. You really crush those demons where the gravitational pull wants to keep you down.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really wants to keep you in the sense of comfort. It wants to keep you in the house, and you've got to fight that. We as humans have to fight that nag of comfort to continue to challenge ourselves to grow, get better. So I just did a tournament 4 weeks ago, the U.S. Open. I haven't competed in more than 6 years. I think I took bronze.
Nice. Good for you, bro.
I mean, thank you. I appreciate that. Another thing, in my mind, even up to the tournament, I'm saying to myself, what the hell am I doing here? I'm 45 years old. Why am I in this big arena, 10 mats, all these screaming people? I could be home like in some AC chilling out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But after the event, and you go, man, I just did something cool.
It's that drive you have. Man. It's
That
good.
is cool.
Hey, listen,
Just
it's
that
great.
feeling, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of
So
course.
that has been a great addition to my personal life. Renovating one of our homes, which I'll be lying if I say is a great joy in my life. It's terrible.
Bro, see, we talk. I like that. I like that reno. I ask Alex. Like, I like going in and just tearing shit up and knocking down walls and redoing it, and the vision of what it can turn into. I like that.
But you're excluding a big portion of the renovation. You're talking the creative aspect. The other point of working with vendors who never show up,
Yeah.
or who do shoddy work, or who
True.
don't care because they're just trying to bang out a job today to get to the next one tomorrow. That's the piece that has driven me crazy.
But going back to a lot of the stuff we've always said, right?
Yeah.
The benefit about doing it for yourself is you're not married to that vendor, right?
Sure.
They don't. If you're gonna continue to grow and do that, they don't do the right work, you get rid of them. And yes, I understand the process is. You see, Alex laughs because he went through that.
Of course.
I'll tell him, you're out. You're done.
But what, after he does the job?
No, if he's messing it up during the job, you shut it down.
I can't hang a picture. So how am I determining whether he's doing a great drywall job or not? My wife is a little bit more detailed, where she wants to take her hand, run over a smooth edge. Case in point, we did, real quick, doing a pool renovation now. She searched high and low. I delegated that to her. I can't do it. I can't. I don't have the patience,
Right.
the time. She does it. But where she lacks is the ability to make a full, firm decision. Because if I make the decision, she can always say in the future, I told you we should have done this.
Right.
So I've learned,
Right.
no, you do.
You handle it.
Because I'm not like that to say, I told you we should have done that, but now you don't want to make a decision because you don't want to be held accountable to it.
Yep.
So run with the pool. Long story short, tiles get put on the edges. She runs her hand over the tiles. They're not straight. She goes, Eric, I'm going to tell them to remove them and replace them. I don't have the heart for that. She doesn't mind.
Yeah.
What'd she do? She said, this isn't to the standard I like. You need to replace these tiles. They did it, right? They did it.
Yeah, there you go.
She's a little bit more patient and detailed than me. I don't have that in me. So now we've learned to delegate. Case in point, that's not fun to me.
I get it.
You
I
know
get
what I mean? That's
Like,
not fun to me.
that doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm cool with that. I don't. If I have to do it, I have to do it. And but what I've learned too is I let vendors know up front now.
Yeah.
I say, this is who I am. I am very detailed.
Yeah.
I won't accept this, and I'm gonna let you know, like, this is my expectation.
Sure.
So that if you have to do that at the end of the day, you say, look, this is not to my expectation. You warned them already.
Understood. Absolutely. And I learned that from you too. We were talking a lot through the process, and yeah. Yeah.
And not shout out to your previous guy that was also your previous tenant, like Alex is. That
Oh man, I mean, just a little story for the audience. I had a disgruntled tenant. We went through it 3 years. Finally exited his lease terms. Cool. We're not going to renew. You're on. He mentions to me in one of our disgruntled conversations. Don't worry, you'll see me a lot. No, you'll see a lot more of me. And in my mind, I think, is he threatening me? I'm going to be cool, but is he threatening me? And then when I came to the property and I saw him, no longer living there, but he was still there, he moved right next door.
No way.
When I say next door, my house is here. He lives literally right next to me, which is why he said, you'll be seeing a lot of me.
No way.
So I see him every day now.
That's funny.
I wave to him because...
Does he wave back?
He does.
Okay.
And I still receive his mail, which I'll then deliver to his doorstep. As a Christian, trying to always be a better human being, we're supposed to be neighborly. It says, love thy neighbor.
Literally.
So I have that in my mind every time I see homeboy. And I'm like, love thy neighbor. Here's your mail, And so I try to be cool. And we've had no issues thus far, thank God.
That's so funny.
But it is a little creepy and a little weird, in that regard.
That's funny, man. That's funny.
Yeah.
I have such good conversation with you, and I just some of these things I remember, for. Well, great, man. I mean, so I'm glad you're back, bro. I'm glad you've got some plans for the future.
Thank you.
I'm sure you'll develop that plan a little bit more and make
Sure.
your final decision. When you is that like a January thing? You're not sure yet. Like what?
I'm not sure.
Not sure yet.
I know I've been blowing up your phone, and I'm sorry because when I get into creative mode, I like.
I say Eric's back. Like
Yeah, I'm hitting them at 7 a.m. texts and everything. Eric's back, and I'm sending podcasts and books and everything. But I'm in that mode, so I don't have a firm timeline, but I know I like the feeling that I'm having now, despite any negativities that the news, the media, the industry might say. I know if I can keep a positive mindset, look forward, I know that I'm equipped to accomplish anything I set my mind toward.
Yeah, of course, man. And you've prepared a great foundation for yourself, so you'll be fine no matter what. And I'm appreciative of all the things you've put me onto and taught me too. So
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
I think the three of us need to go back to CR to have like a closeout with the, and just
Sure.
just have a drink at the bar.
Absolutely.
And, I think
absolutely.
I think we should.
Absolutely.
Maybe
I think we should,
maybe
too.
take an ATV tour, like back in the day.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. It'll bring back a lot of memories, and it's good to visit.
It is,
It's a beautiful place. You guys, I'm sure you guys might have mentioned it. I do have PTSD about it, but
But it's not ours to run anymore. We're just reaping benefits, and someone else is running it.
But we might have to go to the bank, and that brings up a lot of,
I have to go to the bank.
This guy has to go to the bank too. Yeah.
For the audience doesn't know, the banking system there, you take a ticket, you sit down with a book or a podcast, and you wait an
Wait
hour
your turn.
plus. You wait an hour plus.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, that's how it is. It is old school. They are very old school on stuff like that, and so. But just talking about Costa Rica real quick, just to update you. So my property in Matapalo, the beachfront property, got a call yesterday, and looks like. Well, first let me backtrack. So they have to do an inspection. They call it inspección de campo.
Okay.
They have to go out. The municipality has to go out and make sure that the property hasn't been touched and it's ready to build. So I made this payment to my attorney. Not shout out to my attorney. back in April.
Yeah.
So the municipality calls me yesterday and says, "Hey, we need your payment for this so we can do this inspection." I go, "What are you talking about? I made this payment to my attorney in April. We haven't received it yet."
Wow.
So I have to go back searching through emails, show the proof, and then miraculously, my attorney calls and says, "Oh, I was waiting for this. So
Yeah.
I'm paying it tomorrow."
Sure, of course. Yeah.
So anyway, not to add more, negativity to your.
PTSD. No,
But listen, no. So anyway, long story short, I should have concession by the end of the year, bro.
wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
And I think, man, we should talk about. I'll leave that alone.
Have you told the audience about your land real quick in Costa Rica?
No, I don't think we have. No, we haven't talked about it. Go ahead.
Just a quick mention. It's a beautiful parcel, oceanfront.
It is ocean.
And when you showed it to me, first off, kudos to you, amazing job. I mean, I don't know how you found it and trekked all that way back then, but nevertheless, when I was out there and you guys were here, I would use your land as like the drive-through zoo, because when guests would come to visit us, and they want to see monkeys, everybody wants to see monkeys
Yeah.
in Costa Rica. I tell you, when you go to Alex's lot, there's at any given time 5 to 15 monkeys
Yeah.
just chilling
Yeah.
on the land.
Yeah.
And I'd pull up, and then your friends are like, "Oh my God!" It's just such a cool way to be like, "Yo, look at this," and then you drop like, "Yeah, my boy owns this land," and then you just chill there, and the ocean's right in front of you.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason, man. I've been trying to get rid of it for a while. Now things seem to be speeding up. But once I have the concession, there'll be more value to the property, and I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. If I sell it, I sell it. If not, but yeah, it is there. I appreciate it. And it is a great place to go if you want to see some monkeys and some wildlife.
The ocean's beautiful.
Ocean, yeah, it is oceanfront.
It is nice.
So, man, Eric, bro, it's been great having you back on camera and off. I know we spend some time together all the time, and you being in the fight world, I got a real quick left. This is way left.
Do it.
Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. What you call it?
Oh man, it takes every ounce of me to not say Mike Tyson, because who wants to root for Jake Paul? I mean, I don't want to say Jake Paul. This father time is a real thing. You know what I mean? Mike looks fantastic. I don't doubt he has knockout power. I got to go with Mike just from being a superhero of mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? And plus, I would never vote for Jake Paul personally. I'm not hating. I just, I just think boxing's become a little bit of a mockery in that regard.
Yep.
Such a beautiful art. But I got to give kudos to the kid. He's strong. He's big. You know what I mean? He's fast. He talks a lot of trash and then goes in there and wins. But I got to go with Mike, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike's my guy. You know what I mean?
I think it's because of who we are and where we came from. Mike is Mike. But I ask you this because it's in my mind, because Lamar, my other son, he's saying Jake Paul's gonna win all day. Mike's old dude.
I mean,
But I will tell you this: I saw a reel yesterday where they were on stage together. They were doing they were doing some marketing press conference or whatever, and Mike pushed Jake, and then Jake comes at him, and he starts to smile. And in a caption underneath, it said, "The real Mike would never have smiled." So he may be.
he's a different dude.
He's a different dude.
He's been eating mushrooms and smoking a bunch of you know what I mean?
They also know that this is coming.
Oh,
too.
yeah, of
he's
course.
just
He's gonna get
he's
paid.
just there to hang out.
Yeah,
get paid.
so it's fun, it's cool. Mike's our superhero growing up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never forget, real quick, in those days, Mike Tyson pay-per-view, at that time it was $50, a lot of money. You order it, and then in 15 seconds it's over.
It's done.
You loved it, but you hated it. And you're like, this was terrible, man. It's over. But everybody cheered because Mike knocked the other person out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, literally didn't even break a sweat.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Alex, you got anything else, man?
No, man,
You
that was good. I'm happy to be here, and that was exactly the expectation that I thought was gonna happen.
man. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
I hope you come back. Let us know how you progress with the multifamily niche. Come back on, give us some tips, some pointers,
Absolutely.
promote. It's all good, man.
Appreciate you.
But a lot of love always, bro. And it's great to see you, man. It's great to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you, guys. Appreciate
My
it.
pleasure, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's a little off today, but it was just we had to bring Eric back for a welcome back, and thanks for watching. And you know how to reach us, man. Just leave a caption, leave a like, and let us know what you think. Talk soon.